There is a bridge in Fairfax County, Virginia, that looks like a very ordinary day. But at night it turns into a place that is avoided even by those who are not afraid of the dark. It is called the Bunny Man Bridge, the Rabbit Man Bridge. Legend has it, decades ago, a patient escaped from a psychiatric hospital. He settled in the woods near the bridge and started hunting rabbits. The animals disappeared one by one. They were found hanging from trees, with horrific evisceration marks. At first, teenagers came here out of curiosity to check out the legend. But over time, the stories got scarier. It was said that a man in a rabbit costume with an axe went straight to the road and pursued those who dared to approach the bridge. And what scares me the most is that this legend has real evidence. On October 9, 1970, a young couple parked near a nearby forest. Suddenly, a man approached the car, in a white rabbit costume. He was holding an axe in his hands. He started shouting that they were trespassing on his land, and then forcefully threw an axe at the windshield of their car. The young people miraculously managed to leave. 10 days later, another eyewitness, a construction site security guard, encountered the same creature. A man in a rabbit costume came out of the woods, again with an axe. This time, the attack was survived, but the police were unable to catch the madman. There are indeed police reports about these attacks in the newspapers of those years. Then there are only rumors. Some say the killer is dead. Others are sure that he is still wandering by the bridge, waiting for those who decide to come here at midnight. They say that on Halloween night, if you approach the bridge, you can see the silhouette of a man in a rabbit mask. Some even claim to have heard someone whisper their names right in the dark. But this is not the only story about mysterious creatures armed with an axe. In neighboring Maryland, there is another legend, about the Goat Man. It is described as a hybrid of a human and a goat, with horns and a body covered with hair. According to the stories, he went out to people at night, brandishing an axe. The legend originated in the 1970s, when locals began to find mutilated pets. Dogs and goats died horribly. Rumor has it that Goat Man is the result of an experiment by a scientist who allegedly worked with animal and human DNA. The experiment failed, and the monster escaped. In 1971, a group of teenagers claimed to have seen a goat-like man who jumped out onto the road and chased after their car. They barely left. The police were looking for the monster, but of course they didn't find anyone. Since then, every animal disappearance in the area has been attributed to the Goat Man. And many still avoid forest roads, especially at night. But that's not all. America holds many similar legends. In the 1950s, there was a horror story about a maniac with a hook instead of a hand. The story always started the same way: a guy and a girl leave for a secluded place, turn on the radio, and suddenly they hear a message: a murderer escaped from a psychiatric hospital with a metal hook instead of a hand. The frightened lovers drive away, but the hook remains on the door handle of the car. At first, it seemed like just a fairy tale for teenagers to dissuade them from dating in such places. But later, real reports of attacks in parking lots and vacant lots began to appear. Several people claimed that they saw a man with a hook. No one was caught. Once again, legend and reality intertwined. But perhaps the most disturbing story is about clowns. In the 1980s, children in the United States began to tell them that they saw a van with a clown in it, calling them to him. Sometimes it was a white clown, sometimes a red one. The police tried to find this mysterious van, but nothing came of it. In some cities, children did disappear. Whether this is a coincidence, or whether the real culprit was hiding behind the images of the clowns, no one knows. But since then, the clown has ceased to be a symbol of fun. He became a symbol of fear. All these stories, Rabbit Man, Goat Man, Hook Man and mysterious clowns, have one thing in common. They don't have an ending. No one caught the criminals. No one has proven the monsters. But the legends still live on. This means that somewhere nearby, in the dark, there may still be a man with a mask, an axe, or a hook instead of a hand. And if you think it's all just fiction, then try spending the night at Bunny Man Bridge.